Ever get the feeling you're just scratching the surface? Like, we talk about not judging a book by its cover, but how often do we actually see beyond that?
Hmm, I see what you mean. It's easy to get stuck on appearances.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We're exploring the Sufi perspective on judging others.
Sounds fascinating.
It really is. We'll be focusing on Rule 10 from 40 Rules of Love as our guide.
40 Rules of Love, great book. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too. Now, before we jump into Rule 10, let's touch on Sufism briefly. Just for context, it's a mystical path within Islam, right?
Exactly. It emphasizes a direct and personal experience of the divine. More about connecting with that inner truth than, outward rituals.
So less about the where, more about what's within.
Exactly.
And that leads perfectly into Rule 10. It basically says it's not the place, but the person that matters.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it even gives this example of a tavern. It says, when a true lover of God goes into a tavern, the tavern becomes his chamber of prayer. It's pretty powerful imagery, don't you think?
It is, because it's not about the physical space, right? It's about what you bring to it, your internal state, your connection with the divine. It transcends the environment.
So someone who's focused on negativity would likely find it, well, anywhere, really.
Exactly.
And this rule, it doesn't stop there. It talks about this, well, it uses this imagery of a Sufi third eye. Like you can see beyond the surface and into a person's inner self.
It's a powerful metaphor, isn't it? The third eye. It's about cultivating a deeper understanding, seeing beyond our preconceived notions and judgments.
So it's not about taking it literally.
Right. It's not about suddenly having X-ray vision. It's about cultivating compassion and understanding, seeing the divine spark in everyone, regardless of their flaws or our assumptions.
That's a great point. It's so easy to get caught up in those assumptions. We make snap judgments based on appearance, what we've heard, or even just our own biases.
Absolutely. And that's where the real work begins. It's about recognizing those judgments as they arise and challenging them.
So how do we actually, put this into practice? How do we start seeing with this third eye in our everyday lives?
Well, awareness is key. Pay attention to your initial reactions to people. What judgments are you making? And then ask yourself, are these judgments based on reality, or are they coming from my own internal filters?
Like those biases we were just talking about.
Exactly. And once you start recognizing those filters, you can start to see past them. You start to see the person, the human being, behind the labels and assumptions.
It's about remembering that we're all on this journey together.
Exactly. We all experience joy, pain, love, loss. We all have our own struggles.
So true. So the next time you're interacting with someone, try to approach them with that same compassion and understanding. Look for that divine spark within them.
You might be surprised by what you discover. And who knows, you might even start to see the world and yourself in a whole new light.
It's about changing your perspective from the inside out.
Exactly. It all starts within.
And on that note, I think we've done some good inner work today.
I agree. It's been a pleasure diving into this with you.
Likewise. Until next time, keep exploring and keep those third eyes open.